Okay, so we recently did a video on the Fisha 2019 upgrades to the Fisha range. So today what we'll do is we'll touch on the standard Fisha range. So what a lot of people get confused between is like, what is a Fisha, what is a Fisha? Simply put, the Fisha is what we would determine in our range as the slightly more unstable kayaks, or the kayaks that have a sort of the noticeable speed advantage. Okay, a little bit more speed, a little bit more glide. Versus the Fisha range, which obviously a little bit wider, seats slightly deeper, give you a little bit of extra stability. So if you were the kind of angler that was, maybe starting out or even changing from some brand to a stealth and you're worried about a little stability, then the Fisha range is the one that has all the stability. So the Fisha range is basically made up of three kayaks, okay? The 460, the Fisha 500, and the Fisha 555. As you know with the stealth, the numbers always determine the actual length of the kayak. So 4.6 meters, 5.5 meters, 5.55 meters. Then the original Fisha range only consisted of two, but now it's obviously expanded to three. So the 460 and the 500, all the width and the extra stability comes from here. So where your hips are, the widest point of the kayak, seat lower, that's where you get your stability from. That's the focus on the Fisha range, a little bit of extra stability. So if you're a smaller guy and you're looking for a smaller kayak, still with plenty of stability, then you head towards the Fisha 460. The 460, like I said, is 4.6 meters long, so it's shorter. It has plenty of stability, and if you say under 100 kilos, 100 kilograms, that sort of weight fits perfectly into the Fisha 460. And if you're slightly heavier, or if you're a slightly taller person and you want a slightly bigger kayak, that's when the Fisha 500 comes into play. So thirdly, then if you're even bigger guy or super tall, or maybe you're quite heavy set, or even you want a bigger kayak, then you go for the Fisha 555. 555 obviously being the longest one in the range, and obviously the widest too. So the width here, this is the widest, this is second widest, that's the narrowest. So it all blends in with the range and the sizes. So 460 for the smaller, 555 for the really big guy. Small guy can choose any kayak. If you're under 100 kilos, doesn't mean you can't paddle the 555. Doesn't mean you can't paddle the 500. You can actually paddle any one of the three. But for the really big guys or the really tall guys, obviously you will need the bigger kayak. So on the Fisha range, another one of the slightly different features between the Fisha kayaks and the Fishas, on all the Fisha kayaks, we have a standard glass fiber hatch, glass fiber rudder, glass fiber rudder cover, all made out of standard fiberglass, black gel coat, whereas the Fisha range will have carbon fittings, so carbon hatch, carbon rudder, carbon rear cover. So there's a slight difference between the Fisha ranges, just in the actual, let's say, the bits that you put on, it's what it's made out of. So Fisha, more elite range, carbon fiber, Fisha range, standard glass. And another slight difference between the Fisha and the Fisha range is the Fisha range doesn't have the stainless steel bar. The Fisha range has an elastic system. So it's a shock cord system which works just as well as any other. Same thing, put the butt of your rod in, which we'll do a little video on just now. So put your butt of your rod underneath the elastic, holds your rods up. Still have the loops to keep your rods up as well. So those are two of the small differences. One of the third differences, Fisha range has a clear vinyl, sort of more upper class range paddle or scratch pad, so it's clear vinyl, whereas the Fisha range has a rubber, or the old more traditional rubber protective pad. So those are your three main differences. In terms of the rest of the features, like the adjustable pedals, the live well, the rear hatch, still standard across all our range of kayaks. That's all comparative between the ranges. It's just the little finishing touches that are different between the Fisha and the Fisha range. And of course, with the Fisha range, with the extra stability, quite popular with a lot of guys. If you follow the progression of stealth over the years, we originally had a range of kayaks called the Evolution range, Evolution 465, Evolution 495. Well, the Fisha 500 is basically the Evolution 495 upgraded. 460, Evolution 465 upgraded. So it's just the same characteristics, same hull, same width, same stability. The more modern rudder changes, the more modern layout, the live wells, that's the added features of the Fisha range over the old Evolution range. So that's, like I say, the slight progression from the Evolution to the Fisha range. And we've obviously touched on the 3 different models, where depending on how tall you are, depending on how much you weigh, you'll have a look at the models. Obviously, with the Fisha range, when you get into it, you have the ability to be able to progress to the Pro Fisha range. So a lot of the guys will say, I want the best, I want the fastest, I want a 575 straight away, or whatever, or a 525. The Fisha range is the range that you can start off on. 6 months later, a year later, or whatever, you can progress from the Fisha range to the Pro Fisha range. So it's not it's not a kayak that you, in some cases, guys will progress after 6 months. A lot of the guys stick to it forever. They just love their little bit of extra stability, the little bit of the extra space or width around them, and they're happy to stay with it forever. So every kayak in our range, like we said, has a spot: stability, speed, glide. And today is just a general touch on the Fisha range and where they fall into. On our website, obviously, you have what we call a walkthrough video on each of the Fisha kayaks. So there's a walkthrough video for the 460, a walkthrough video for the 500 and the 555, showing you all the different features, more detail of what the features of the kayak are. But today I just wanted to touch on the 3 kayaks in the Fisha range and how they fit into the Stealth name and the Stealth brand. And so next, obviously, after the Fisha range, we'll touch on some more videos. Thank you.